Smash Factor.
Terrific driver, going for it. Oh my goodness, how about that tee shot?
That is crazy how far that is.
Wow. John Daly, take a back seat, big fella. How about that drive?
That's an aggressive line.
Man, that is beyond long.
Look at this, he's just driven the green. He has just driven the green.
I guess hello world, huh?
Welcome everybody to the Smash Factor, week 31 of the 2021-2022 PGA season, the Memorial Tournament, Jack's Tournament, another big boy tournament, big boy field, and a big boy course. Going to play tough this week. 3 weeks in a row now. They'll have very tough. I think low teens probably gets it done. I don't think we'll see quite single digit like we have last couple weeks. Great finish yesterday. Well, I guess now Sunday. Coming out a little later this week. Obviously, Memorial Day was yesterday. Thank you to all who served our country. Appreciate it very much. And who sacrificed their lives as well. Great day with the family, the kids, all that kind of stuff. Got all the rankings out and everything last night, but decided to hold off to do the pod till it's lunchtime here, a little lunchtime pod, and we'll get caught up everything else today, and then back tomorrow for the final thoughts and deep dive. Looking forward to the week. I like this tournament. I like the course. I like challenges when it gets on the PGA Tour like that. I don't hate the 18, 19, 20 under Birdie Fest either, but I do like the tough challenges as well. And we got this one this week, RBC, which I imagine most guys will. A lot of guys probably not affiliated with RBC will pass, take a little rest, and get ready for the U.S. Open in 2 weeks. So a little tough stretch of golf getting through here. Fun, exciting, looking forward to it all. Last week, DFS was not my best. It was a little backwards week. Been on a good run. I did do well on NASCAR. Jimbo and the X-Fin on Saturday. I shipped that contest, tied it. I think it was like a 5 or 6 way tie. So about $5,000-6,000 there. So did have a good week overall, but definitely not as much on the golf. I had a quote in I think it was the Glorious Nucleus article. I was like, I'm between Harman and Kirk on which one I want to fade and which one I go with. And I went with Harman because of the course history as kind of the tiebreaker there. That kind of sums up the whole week for DFS in a nutshell. Didn't think he was going to be as popular as what he was. Obviously, knew he was going to be up there, but he was even higher than I thought he'd be, or I probably would have went Kirk. But that happens sometimes. Sink missing the double on 8, got a double on 18 to miss the cut. That hurt as well, and some other lineups I had. I got a little bit back, not much. I think I lost about half what I put in last week. So we move on to this week. Betting-wise, got the HV3 first-round leader. It was chopped down from 50 to 1 to 6.25 to 1, but that with then the Cam Davis top 20, 4.5 to 1. I mean, those small hits, but they're profit and they help pay for the week. We move on, we move forward. Had Mito, Riley, HV3, and Davis all there with pretty decent chances to make a run at it Sunday, especially the way it ended up and playing super tough. All 4 of those guys could have made a push. Did not. Burns rallies. Had to play in some of the conditions, but not the worst. Got in a little earlier than those last several groups. He shoots to 65 to get his 3rd win. Great tournament altogether. Scheffler and him both playing tremendous this year. I think someone said one or the other was going to be 7 wins between the two now this season alone. So that's impressive. Prize Picks doing well there, mixing and matching some NBA, NASCAR, and then of course golf. Had a 5-0 card on Sunday. Also had another 3-0-2 card that I did. I think Saturday. I can't remember. Round 3, I was unable to do content. I got put on some medicine last week when I was sick. Had an allergic reaction to it. So Friday night into Saturday was a lot of resting and recovering on that. So I did apologize for that, but we got round 4 back out Sunday. Shout out Scotty Man, 264 and a 900 with a 5-6. I believe Answer was the guy that missed the cut for him. Definitely had a chance to ship that contest if he would have got 6-6. I think he was up there even with the 5-6. I want to say Riley hurt him late, just like a lot of us. Riley and HV3 definitely had some chances on Sunday to make, try to get back to even with missing some of those guys I missed. Didn't happen, but that back nine for Mito hung tough. I was proud of him. Definitely played him, was overweight. A lot of people chose not to. Hung in there, got another 7th place. And Riley all given. I mean, he still hung. He could have, I won't say he could have pulled what HV3 did, and just kind of the wheels went way off. He knew when he hit that OB, he probably lost his chance at the tournament, but he kept grinding there. He had a chance to get to 9 even after that hole. So, overall, I like where we were sitting. Been on a good little road. We just can't get the winner. We're surrounding it, but we're getting these little baby wins, little first round leaders, chops, back-to-back top 20 hits. Help keep the bankroll rolling, and Prize Picks have been doing well, so that helps as well. RM Sure 12 in the Slack took down the round. I think he played the 444 or 555. I think he just put a bullet in there. He had a bullet in there. I know that for sure. Took down 50K round 4 showdown. Shout out to him. Good week there. If you want to join on the phone, we got going on right now. Smash 20% off any package. Includes a 7-day risk-free trial. Rate and review us on iTunes. I will be doing giveaways for the U.S. Open, just like each and every major. That gets you into the drawings for free. Give away some more PGA Master swag yesterday in the Slack and last week as well. Subscribe and like this video on YouTube. Those get you into the free drawings the week of the U.S. Open as well. In the comment section, tell me who you want to play in the 9K range this week. Interesting top end of the board. We'll be going through that shortly, but I want to see who's your favorite play in the 9K range this week. Listener League link, I should have it by the time I post this, hopefully. We're running a little late this week, but we will have it. Last week's winner, TJ Junk 77. 440.5 points. Scheffler, Spieth, Riley, McCarthy. I thought McCarthy play was pretty sneaky. That was a good little play. Hostler and Smotherman. So really good lineup there. I'm sure he had it in a lot of other things and probably had a really well week with that lineup alone. This week, Muirfield Village, Dublin, Ohio. The redo was done last year. Kenny Kim, you can get that broken down on his article on the site if you want the full deal. It's par 72 over 7,500 yards, 4 par 3s, 4 par 5s. It's going to be a tough track. We know that. Probably not as windy, though, so maybe the golfers feel a little out there. The last couple of weeks of some pretty good wins in Tulsa and Fort Worth. Not going to have that. Rough, thick. It looks really thick already. Our boy Bobby Berger said they had record rain in May in the area. So course is going to play as tough as Jack wants it to play. Firm, quick, bent greens, smaller greens. It's going to be tough around the greens if you miss. We know that. It is an invitational, so 120 guys only, smaller field. Technically, 6-6s could be up there. We saw last week. You get a guy like Harmon. I can't remember how popular Willie Z was, but a few guys miss, even in that, when you got T65 and ties on 120, you can still have a low 6. I think 6-6 was around 5% for the most part, if I remember correctly. So, but only 120 guys this week. Some showers tomorrow night into Thursday. It looks like rain off and on Thursday. Looks like just rain. I don't think any severe. They're going to have to play in the wet. I could see some delays. We'll keep an eye on that. Then it gets sunny, very light winds. So I think it'll play a little easier as the week goes on. But Jack can make it tough if he wants to, right? I'm just saying with no winds, finally these guys get a little break there. But man, if you're not in the fairway here, it's going to be tough. Just looking at the early pictures. We'll lean to see if there's any kind of wave advantage. Right now I don't see one because it looks fairly consistent Thursday. It's going to be cooler, wet, pretty much off and on all day. And then it's out of there, and there is nothing Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Looks nice. Very low winds Friday and Saturday. Maybe picks up a little bit Sunday. Nothing right now that stands out as far as wave advantage to me. I got the cut around +2, +3. Winners, I think 12 to 14 under, somewhere in that range is what we'll see. Past winners, Cantley, Rahm. Cantley, obviously Rahm was leading here Saturday last year. Got tested positive for COVID, so had to withdraw, couldn't finish. Bryson won it 2018, different version of Bryson. Duffner, we may get Bryson 3.0 this week. Sounds like I listened to his interview earlier. Excuse me. It sounds like he is going to play. Could still get low ownership. People wondering withdrawal, but he's priced where I think we may want to grab some of that. We'll talk about that a little later. Duffner -13, McGirt, Lingmer, Matsuyama, Kuchar, Woods, some runner-ups, Naw, Fowler, Rose, Fowler, Adam Scott, Palmer, Morikawa. So you can kind of see, it's a big boy test. All facets of your game will be tested this week. I do like those kind of courses. I like this tournament. I'm looking forward to it. New to the course, 20 of these guys have not played it since 2016. So most have at least played one round in the last 6 years. Salary ranges 10K, 5 guys, 9K, 7 guys, 8K, 11 guys, 7K, 29 guys, 6K, 68 guys. Sweet 16, normal format here. Favorite 3 and a bubble boy. Fade of the week, sleeper of the week, some gut fill plays, betting, top 5 that pop and 2 long shots provided by Prize Picks. And then we'll wrap it up. We'll get back tomorrow with some deep dive and final thoughts. 9K and above. I'm going to start with Rory. I like Rory a lot this week. Interested to see how the ownership kind of goes up top. That may make some things move around by the time we get to tomorrow night. But he's my favorite. I don't think he'll be the highest owned. I think Rahm will get a lot of attention. Interested to see where Cantley gets. That's going to be the ultimate course fit, course history versus recent form. He's not been playing well, but he loves this place. 35th, 4th, 1st, 32nd, 1st. Could see myself on some Cantley at a low ownership. Xander probably will be one of the more popular, just with being the cheapest in this range. But I think it'll be somewhat spread out to an extent. Morikawa will probably get some love here. 48th and a second here. Irons are great. Tee to green's pretty decent. Just struggling with the putter and bad. So can he get it rolling here? It's worth the risk. Depending on the ownership and stuff. Not for me, probably this week. I'll probably be elsewhere, but I think you make an argument of any of those guys. And the 9K is pretty solid as well. And the 8K looks fairly loaded. 8K is really solid. You make an argument of starting lineups in the 8K this week. So top heavy, really good field. Not in love with the 6Ks. Like normally I can get, just off the first look, 10 to 12 that I'm like, okay, I can see me playing this. I really do see potential for some balance builds this week, being the way to go. But I do like Rory 10-9. If I'm going to spend up, it'll be Rory. A 13th, a 2nd, a miscut, an 8th, and a 4th here. Of course, should fit him well. He played well at PGA, even though that Sunday round wasn't probably the way he wanted it to go. 5th at Wells Fargo. He's coming in really good form. 2nd in the field in recent form for me. 4th in bent putting, 18th in course fit. Not much to hate about that. I can't argue against Rahm. I just probably be against. I think he's going to be higher owned or high up there owned, and he's the highest price. I probably only want to play one of those 2 guys, and for me, it'd probably be Rory this week. Next, Matsu. I like Matsu a lot this week. I think it's a good price, $9,200. Mixed results here, but good. 6th, 13th, 45th, miscut, 62nd, and another miscut back in 2016. Coming in pretty good form. 3rd he made the cut PGA, didn't do much with it. I want to say he was in the bad side of the draw there and still made the cut. 60th. Not going to put a lot into that. I like his game for this type of place. I hope he doesn't get too high owned at that price. I really love the price a lot. And I'll go there $9,200 this week. I think that sets up one of those type of hybrid balance or balance builds for us that we may be looking for. I do like Xander. I don't play him a lot, but I have been on him. 3 straight top 15s here, a 5th at the AT&T, a 13th at the PGA. Always seems to be around the leaderboard here. Miscut his first time out in 2018, but since then has played this course really well. 5th in my overall model to start out with. Cheapest of the guys up top. Could see him getting steamed up some, and that would be a reason for me to go, I'll just drop down to the 9s or move off him. That would be the only negative. He's just going to be the clear-cut highest owned there. Then maybe we revisit that. Bubble boy for me is Willie Z. I want to see how people react to that. Miscut, 2nd miscut his last 3 weeks. So definitely burned some people at AT&T. Wasn't as high on last week like he was at AT&T, but I think he likes, when it's tough and these kind of challenges, he always seems to show up. So I'm going to stay on that. We'll see what the ownership's like. I think he's going to be lower owned than normal. We'll see, but I like him this week as a bubble boy. Unless he gets way up there, I could find my way to be different this week. But I think I'm going to be a lot more in these 8, 9s, and I can make an argument fading all the 10K. Definitely probably want to get one or two of those just because of the win equity and the odds of one of those guys coming through are there. But, I really think 8K and up is pretty solid this week where you can make some arguments. Some different build strategies can be had this week for sure. 8K range, it's kind of like the Gupta range, I guess, this week. These are all my boys. Young, Mito, and Sungjae are my three favorites. I'm going to go back to Young. I'd be interested to see his ownership as well because we thought he was getting steamed up at PGA, and he really wasn't as high owned as what people made it out to be. Coming in with tremendous form. Number one recent form in the field for me. Second at Wells Fargo, third at PGA. Track should fit him well. He's great off the tee, second at good drives. Forgot to mention the stats, my bad. I'm using good drive, great approach, stroke gain irons, opportunities inside 18 feet, bogey avoidance, and par 4 DK scoring. Then obviously bent putting mixed in there, the course history. A little stronger this week. I know it's got the redo in it and all that, but I definitely still want to take a look at how people have played here in the past. But you have guys that have done really, really solid all the time, and some guys miscut and then get an 8th in the top 10. So I'm not afraid of that either, but I do want to look at it a little more than most weeks since we have such strong course history here. But Cam Young, obviously his first time, that's a little knockdown for me. I mean, if he just clearing the way, he's going to be the chalk. I can get around it. Like PGA, I just said I didn't care. I just went all in. We'll see how it happens over the next 24 hours. I'm still all in with him. I think the price is great. And he allows for that balance build that I think I may be leaning towards this week. Go a Matsu, a Willie Z, and a Young to start, or a Matsu, Young, Mito, something like that is definitely something I can see and not feel, be different without having to get too crazy and not have to dip too down low this week. It's something I'm trying not to do. Mito, I love the bounce back last week. He's coming in great form as well. A 17th, a 3rd, and a 7th. 8,000 flat. Like that price a lot. Another what we think is going to be tougher scoring. So I like that style for him. I like him more on a place. Now, obviously, I think, I don't know if it was Wells or somewhere where no one wanted to play him because everybody's saying he couldn't score, but he got in the 20s 3 times when he won on the Corn Ferry. But he is a grinder, in my opinion. Like, he's number 2 in the field in bogey avoidance. So I like that kind of stuff this week. He's number 1 in my stat model overall. So 8,000, love Mito. Sungjae, shook off the rust, the COVID, whatever. Made the cut, got a 15th. Like him a lot this week. I think he has not had the best history here, so he's one of those guys that you're kind of, banking. The more he sees it get a little bit better. 57th, a miscut. 9th in bent putting though. So outside of his track record here, I think everything else looks great. I like him a lot. If he get in the fairway, irons coming on, he's 3rd in bogey avoidance. 9, he likes tough tracks, Honda stuff like that. I'll go to Sungjae 8,900. Davis Riley's the only one that he's the bubble boy, and really because now he's played. So Cam Young took last week off. Riley didn't, and it's a tough stretch there. Same with Mito, and I get it, but man, Riley looked so devastated when he hit that ball. You just see it in his face when he went OB there. But a 9th, a 13th, and a 4th. I can't argue against Mito or him. I'm interested to see his ownership. His bounce back, he's been there for 3 straight weeks now, so I imagine he'll show up and do it. One would wonder if this wasn't a personal invite from Jack, would Riley and Mito not be taking this week off? Maybe, but how do you say no to your first time ever out there? So, the grind has been there for those guys that played the last 3 weeks. So I definitely interested to kind of see how he shows up. The only reason I got my bubble boys, I don't know if I want to play him high owned. I don't want to get into where I'm playing a lot of those guys up there. And right now I like Cam Young for this course a little better than Riley for $200 more. But if I get a huge ownership difference, then Riley could be the piece that we're looking for in the AK. I like a lot of the AK range this week. I'll probably be playing a lot of them. Even the other guys I didn't mention yet, I still think are good plays. And then try to maybe be light on a couple of the up top pieces to be different. 7K range, Adam Scott, 7,700. I think that's a great price. Good track record here. 31st, a 35th, a 2nd, and a 16th. 32nd AT&T, did miss the cut at the PGA. 5th in bent putting, 5th in course fit. Just a fair price for a guy that upside is to be in there top 10. He's got a 2nd here, top 20 looking up on the weekend at 7,700 with that upside is something I do like this week. And so I like Adam Scott, 7,700. Noren, the guy that at minimum cost me about 60,000 at the PGA with his miscut, but he killed a lot of people. So I'm wondering how many people are a little gun shy to go back there this week. Okay record here, a 41st, a miscut, and a 13th, 12th at AT&T. Obviously, the noted miscut at the PGA. Still a good price though, and he's really good on bent putting. 6th in the field, $7,500. Don't think he'll get steamed up quite like he was at the PGA, but I do like him this week at that price. Kuchar, guy I hadn't played much of, but he continues to hang around, make cuts, been playing well. I'll go there this week. I mean, that's a guy I don't normally I don't think I hardly ever play him. Just for some reason, those guys, but $7,800, really good record here as well. A 4th, a 13th, a 32nd. Did have a withdrawal last year and then a miscut in 2019, but 4 top 32s, 3 top 13s, and 2 top 5s in the last 6 years. Those are all great. 49th at Wells Fargo, 12th at AT&T, 34th at PGA, 14th in course fit, 21st in recent form. All those are positive signs for me. $7,800. We're going to need some of these 7K guys if we're trying to get that balance or hybrid balance build this week. So he's a guy like Chris Kirk, another guy. Obviously, I whiffed on last week by moving to Harmon instead of him, but he's playing well. A 5th and a 15th. Okay record here, has gotten better every year. Miscut, 52nd, then a 26th last year. Playing really good ball right now. 7th in recent form. He's 4th in stroke gain irons, 9th in opportunities inside 18 feet, 5th in bogey avoidance. Off the tee is probably the weakest of his game on what we're looking at here, and he's middle of the road, bent putting. But again, $7,700. He's got that upside, top 25 here. Be there on the weekend, give yourself a chance. I like that. He's been playing good in these tough tournaments the last 2 weeks as well. Only reason the bubble boy is how popular does he get, because he paid a lot of people off last week with that 15th finish, and he was fairly popular as well. 6K range, Strillman, really good history here, and that may give him a little bit of a bump. I don't see too many people in the 6K ranges getting steamed up this week, but an 8th, a 13th, a 44th, a 4th, a 54th, and a 13th, 6 straight made cuts here. Guy like that. His recent form's a little shaky. Miscut, 41st miscut, nothing too great there, but can't deny the record here, and at that price, could be a good piece at $6,800. Kitayama, I'll go back there again. He's been playing really good form. 40th last week. I mean, nothing crazy, but he's been there, had a chance. Struggled a little bit on Sundays, but 9th in good drives, 19th in great approach. Bogey avoidance, which he does struggle there. He's middle of the field, a little worse than middle of the field. That's probably the one downside. 30th in opportunities out 18 feet, 45th in irons. So I like him in general. I think that it's $6,300 feels like a really good price for him on a week where I'm not just seeing a lot of love in the 6K range. That's definitely a guy that has my eye. Scott Stallings, Monday queued last week, turns it into, he was tied for the lead. A lot of guys were there on that back nine, finished 4th after that hole seemed like it took him 30 something minutes to play when he had to take all those drops. That's when Harold also had the 4-putt. But he's playing pretty good. 25th, miscut, 4th. His miscut was at the PGA. 48th here, and the one time he's got to play in 2019. $6,900. Again, this hybrid balance or not want to dip too low. That's a great price. 15th in bent putting. I like Stallings this week, $6,900. Brendan Steele, just now getting into some of the pods and stuff, catching up. Have heard his name a couple times. So the Bubble Boys reason is, could he be popular? Does play this place great. A 20th, a 57th, a 41st, a 13th, and a 37th. Coming off a 9th at the PGA, a 51st at Wells Fargo. So a lot of positive signs there. Stats-wise, he's okay. He's about average for the field. Bogey avoidance, he's 108. So that gave me a little worry. If I'm going to get, he become the highest owned 6K guy. Now, if he's 5-6%, I don't really let that bother me. If we start flirting with 9-10%, 11% in that 6K range, I can just find someone else. But that's why he is the bubble boy in the 6K range for me this week. Fade of the week for me, this was close between Rahm and Morikawa. I don't think Morikawa is going to get just a ton of ownership. Maybe I'm wrong there. So I don't think I play him. But Rahm's probably the one where I go, I just pass on that. Obviously, he plays great. Should have been back-to-back wins or close to it. You would think he would head on to a 6-stroke lead, but we've seen that not work the last 2 weeks, so who knows. But his form just hadn't been there, as much. Now, he did get the win in Mexico, and we all talked, he was 3-1 to win that. Not that the field was, great or anything, but overall, I wonder where he's at. Maybe he's motivated, and I'm reading it wrong, but for me, I don't want to play both Rory and Rahm this week. I don't want to pay up for the 2 highest. So I'll probably be passing on Rahm, and then Morikawa would kind of be a side note there as someone that I may pass on that 10K range as well. Again, if things are totally different by tomorrow and, Xander's clearly the highest owned and we're getting some discount, maybe I do play Rory and Rahm, but I'll update that tomorrow on the pod as well. But for now, that's where I'm at. Sleeper of the week for me, Patrick Rogers. Never get this guy right. I've talked about it before. Although the last time I did say that, he actually did well for me. And, I like him here. He's got some decent finishes, $6,800. I don't think he'll be over 5% owned. He's got 2 missed cuts, but he also has an 8th and an 18th and a 67th. He's coming in with 2 straight made cuts, a 32nd at AT&T, a 35th last week. Just a little under the radar, but he's solid with that upside. So at $6,800, I do like him a lot as that low, less than 5% owned guy this week. Patrick Rogers, $6,800. Gut feel plays of the week for me. Lahiri, $7,200. Surprisingly, pretty decent. 4 straight made cuts in the 4 times he's played it. 61st, 2nd, 37th, 52nd, 6th at Wells Fargo. He's had some upside that I like that, for that price, $7,200, and be probably littering, peppering the 7,000 range with the potential strategy. He's a guy I'll have on my pool. CT Pan, another one, $7,200 is a gut fill play. Also made the cut 3 times here, a 40th, a 44th, and a 57th. The high side isn't there like Lahiri has shown, but he's been playing pretty good. 15th at Wells, 52nd at Charles Schwab. He's a guy that I'll have, could make that final player pool for sure. Seamus Power, a guy that played the tough PGA well, finishing 9th. He's a grinder, number 1 in bogey avoidance, number 2 in par 4 DK scoring. Has not played here, would probably be the only knock. 13th in bent putting, but pretty solid across the board. Missed a cut at Wells Fargo, but outside of that's been playing well. I like him a lot this week, especially for thinking 9, 10, 11 under gives you a shot on Sunday. I think that's up his wheelhouse this week. Fowler, another guy kind of like Kuchar, showing life again. 21st, 23rd, 57th, and he was up there for a while. Didn't have a good Sunday. Even when he wasn't playing well, he played this course pretty well. Miscut, and then a 2nd, an 8th, a 14th, an 11th, and he did miss a cut in 2020, but 4 out of 6 years he's finished top 15 or higher at that price. Weirdly enough, $7,200. Maybe that's the sign this week. All 3 of them, Lahiri, Pan, and Fowler, all $7,200. I like them all this week with Powers to round it out at $8,000. Betting top 5 that pop in 2 long shots. Provided by Prize Picks. Click the link in the description. Dollar for dollar match up to $100. Use the code GUP. You can get that dollar for dollar match. We've been killing it across the board in all sports. In the GC Slack, I also post my Prize Pick plays with my bets nightly. Top 5 I like right now: Cam Young 40-1, Mito 50, Willie Z 30, Sung Jae 33. Matsu kind of has my eye there, 25. I like that number. Kind of see if anything drifts later on today. 2 long shots: Lahiri 150, Rogers 200. Those are guys that are potential top 20 type bets for me. Not necessarily thinking a long guy or a long horse could win this week. Probably be closer to top of the board, but those guys could be top 20, good top 20 odds at those 150 and 200 to 1. I will have my final 5 for one and done tomorrow on the podcast. And then don't forget, Smash 20% off week-long trial. Join now. You can get almost, I think we almost would get, because you get the free week plus, say you do a month. So 5 weeks would almost get you to the British Open. Maybe. Well, yeah, close, but by then you'll know if you like it or not. But you can quit within the first 7 days and you never see a charge. That is the risk-free trial. Looking forward to this week. I really like this tournament. I like the way the field is set up. I don't want to say soft pricing, but we have enough there that allows for different unique builds if you want to go there without having to get crazy this week. I think you can be a little bit different. We'll go into that, especially as we get through tomorrow. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Thanks.